Hare Krishna. Nice to see you all. Thank you for joining Youth Jam this week. We took a little break last week as it was Srila Prabhupada's disappearance day, and many of us were also busy and occupied in programs. But we're so happy to be back this week and resume our Kartik program as well. And it's also nice to see Brajaras and Adipayani and some other familiar faces here back as well. Hare Krishna. So before we start, as we always do, we'll start off with a prayer. And the way this works is someone will nominate another person, and if that gets seconded, we can have a nice prayer to kick off the program. So I'll put the format in the chat. Would anyone like to make a nomination?
I nominate Mayuri.
All right, I second that. And Rajas also seconds. Manya seconds. Mayuri, would you like to take it off?
Sure, Prabhuji. Is there the formats?
Yeah, I put it in the chat.
Oh, my
Sure.
dear Nitya Hari and Latikopal, if you so desire, please help this youth jam go well. Thank you for considering my request.
Very well. Thank you so much for that prayer, Myri. And with that, we'll start. We can start with Chad, and I'll hand it off to Rajaras.
Krishna, we'll be continuing with our 10th chapter, reading the second half for the next few weeks. And so I'll chant the shlokas and feel free to chant along with your repeated mics, sorry, with your muted mics. And then what we'll do after that is we'll do some translations together. And so you can raise your hands and I'll read around 5 each. Vedanam samavedosmi, devanam asmi vasava, indriyanam manaschasmi, bhutanam asmi chetana, rudranam shankarashchasmi, vittesho yaksharakshasam, vasunam pavakaschasmi, meru shikharinam aham, पुरोधसां च मुख्यं मां विधि पार्थ बृहस्पतिं सेनानीनाम् अहं स्कन्द सरसामस्मि सागर महर्षीणां भृगुरहं गिरामस्म्येकमक्षरं यज्ञानां जपयज्ञोऽस्मि स्थावराणां हिमालय अश्वत्थ सर्ववृक्षाणां देवर्षीणां च नारद गन्धर्वाणां चित्ररथ सिद्धानां कपिलो मुनि उच्चैश्रवसम् अश्वानां विद्धि माम् अमृतोद्भवम् ऐरावतं गजेन्द्राणां नराणां च नराधिपम् आयुधानाम् अहं वज्रं धेनूनाम् अस्मि कामधुक् प्रजनश्चास्मि कन्दर्प सर्पानामस्मि वासुकी अनन्तश्चास्मि नागानां वरुणो यादसामहं पितॄणाम् अर्यमा चास्मि यमः संयमतामहम् प्रह्लादश्चास्मि दैत्यानां कालकलयतामहं मृगाणां च मृगेन्द्रोऽहं वैनतेयश्च पक्षिणाम् पवनपवतामस्मि रामशस्त्रभृतामहं झषाणां मकरश्चास्मि श्रोतसामस्मि जाह्नवी सर्गाणाम् आदिरन्तश्च मध्यं चैवाहमर्जुन अध्यात्मविद्याविद्यानां वादप्रवदतामहम् अक्षराणाम् अकारोऽस्मि द्वन्द्वसामासिकस्य च अहम् एवाक्षयः कालो धाताहं विश्वतो मुखः मृत्युसर्वहरश्चाहम् उद्भवश्च भविष्यताम् कीर्तिश्रीर्वाक्च नारीणां स्मृतिर्मेधा धृतिः क्षमा बृहत्साम तथा साम्नां गायत्री छन्दसामहं मासानां मार्गशीर्षोऽहं ऋतूनां कुसुमाकर द्यूतं छलयतामस्मि तेजस्तेजस्विनामहं जयोऽस्मि व्यवसायोऽस्मि सत्त्वं सत्त्ववतामहम् वृष्णीनां वासुदेवोऽस्मि पाण्डवानां धनञ्जय मुनीनाम् अप्यहं व्यास कवीनामुशना कवी दण्डो दमयतामस्मि नीतिरस्मि जिगीषतां मौनं चैवास्मि गुह्यानां ज्ञानं ज्ञानवतामहम् यच्चापि सर्वभूतानां बीजं तद् अहमर्जुन न तद् अस्ति विना यत् स्यान् मया भूतं चराचरम् नान्तोऽस्ति मम दिव्यानां विभूतीनां परन्तप एष तुद्देशतः प्रोक्तो विभूतिर्विस्तरो मया यद्यद्विभूतिमत्सत्त्वं श्रीमदूर्जितमेव वा तत्तदेवावगच्छत्वं मम तेजोंश संभवम् अथवा बहुनैतेन किं ज्ञातेन तवार्जुन विष्टव्याहम् इदं कृत्स्नम् एकांशेन स्थितो जगत्. Now we'll do the translations together, or not together, we'll do them in order. Feel free to raise your hands and we'll do 5 each. So maybe 4 to 5 volunteers. Mapani Bhakti, you can get us started.
Of the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. Of the demigods, I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the senses, I am the mind, and in living beings, I am the living force, consciousness. Of all the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Of the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of Wealth, Kuvera. Of the Vasus, I am fire, Agni, and of mountains, I am Meru. Of priests, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief, Brihaspati. Of generals, I am Kartikeya, and of bodies of water, I am the ocean. Of the great sages, I am Brigu. Of vibrations, I am the transcendental Om. Of sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy names, Japa. And of immovable things, I am the Himalayas. Of all trees, I am the banyan tree. And of the sages among the demigods, I am Narada. Of the Gandharvas, I am Chitraratha. And among perfected beings, I am the sage Kapila.
Mayuri?
Of horses, know me to be Uchaishriva, produced during the churning of the ocean for nectar. Of lordly elephants, I am Airavata, and among men, I am the monarch. Of weapons, I am the thunderbolt. Among cows, I am the surabhi. Of causes for procreation, I am Kandarpa, the god of love, and of serpents, I am Vasuki. Of the many hooded Nagas, I am Ananta, and among the aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama, and among the dispensers of law, I am Yama, the lord of death. Among the Daitya demons, I am the devoted Prahlad. Among subduers, I am Time. Among beasts, I am the lion, and among birds, I am Garuda. Of purifiers, I am the wind. Of the wielders of weapons, I am Rama. Of fishes, I am the shark, and of flowing rivers, I am the Ganges. Of all creations, I am the beginning and the end, and also the middle, O Arjuna. Of all sacrifices, I am the spiritual science of the self, and among logicians, I am the conclusive truth.
Of letters, I am the letter A, and among compound words, I am the dual compound. I am also inexhaustible time, and of creators, I am Brahma. I am all-devouring death, and I am the generating principle of all that is yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. Of the hymns in the Samaveda, I am the Brihat Sama, and of poetry, I am the Gayatri. Of months, I am the Margashirsha, November to December, and of seasons, I am the flower-bearing spring. I am also the gambling of cheats, and of the splendid, I am the splendor. I am victory, I am adventure, and I am the strength of the strong. Of the descendants of Vrishni, I am Vasudeva, and of the Pandavas, I am Arjuna. Of the sages, I am Vyasa, and among great thinkers, I am Ushana. Among all means of suppressing lawlessness, I am punishment, and of those who seek victory, I am morality. Of secret things, I am silence, and of the wise, I am the wisdom.
Amba? Oh, Amba's lowered her hand. But if you want to go ahead, you can go ahead. Or does anyone else want to read?
I can read.
All right, go ahead.
Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There's no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. O mighty conqueror of enemies, there's no end to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe.
Thank you everyone for participating in chapter a day. Now I'll hand it back to Chaitanya Nitai Nam for the next part of our program.
We'll go over the Damodar Ashtakam as we've been doing for the duration of Damodar or Kartik month, which is coming to an end, I think, in the next week. So we can resume our reading and analysis of the commentary by Srila Sanatana Goswami on the Damodar Ashtakam. But before that, we'll go over verses 5 and 6, since we left off on verse 4 last time. Let me get the screen share. Great. And Anapini, would you like to read?
Yeah.
Recite it? Yeah.
Idam te mukhambojam atyantanile vritam kuntale snigdha raktaischa gopya muhuschumbitam bimba raktadarame manasya virastamalam lakshalabhe. O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair, tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me. Namo Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukha Jalabdi Magnam Kripa Drishti Vishyati Dinam Bhatanu Grihane Shamamagya Me Dyakshi Drishya. O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you, O Damodar, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, be pleased upon me. By showering your glance of mercy upon me, deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes. I was also thinking that I don't think there's another week of Karthik. Should we just finish the last two as well?
Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead. But I think we'll keep the analyses for next week just to finish it
Yeah.
off.
Okay, no, then it's fine. We can continue next time.
Sure. All right. Thank you so much, Anapini, for reciting it, though. And now we'll go into our commentary by Srila Sanatana Goswami. Yes, Manya has it pulled up. All right. So as Anapini just went through the 5th and 6th verses. So verse 5, we have Satyavrata Rishi, who's writing this Damodar Ashtakam as a set of prayers to Sri Krishna in his Damodar pastime. And after the last verse, which he emphasizes that he's looking at or imagining the form of Bal Gopal in the village of Gokul, he's praying eagerly to behold Sri Krishna's enchanting face. So that's what translates to Idam te mukham bhojam. And this meditative vision, it's not actually something you can describe in words. And the sage Satyavrata recognized this, but hoping to be able to offer at least something from his knowledge, he felt that he had to express something. So he expressed in the form of a sort of metaphor, relating the lotus face of Krishna to a blooming lotus. So he says, your countenance is a blooming lotus, which extinguishes every affliction with the nectar of supreme bliss. And yeah, Manya, if you want to click that. Yeah. So he relates Krishna's face to a blooming lotus, and just the sight of that lotus face is enough to counteract every struggle or problem that we perceive in life and come across. Because the sight of Krishna's face and the beauty of his pastimes is enough to get rid of every other bad thought or any thought in your mind. And that's how powerful it is to be in the association of not just Krishna, but in the association of his devotees who glorify his pastimes and his form and his qualities like they have no other business. And that's the value of being in the association, which I always say that Youth Jam is one of those examples of just how powerful it is to consistently be in association of devotees. And moving on to the next part of this verse, we see that Satyavrata Rishi continues his prayer. Okay, go ahead and click. So he continues his prayer. This fully blown lotus is encircled by your dark blue. This part is Atyanta Nilai, or which is deep dark blue, and Vrita means encircled. And if you keep clicking, you can see glossy and red hued curls. So dark blue, glossy, and red hued or tinged curls. And curls or locks of hair is what is encircling Krishna's beautiful lotus face, as we saw in the last slide. And so overall, Satyavrata Rishi is observing and describing this picture of Krishna as this little boy with a beautiful face encircled by these beautiful locks of hair. And not only do we conceptualize Krishna's face as, or his skin tone as this deep, dark, blackish blue, but we also see his hair is that same kind of color. It's a deep, dark, blackish blue. And the special thing about that hair is also that it has tinges of red. We see Kuntalai Snigdha Raktai. And he finishes off this analytic prayer by saying, uh, these hair locks are like bumblebees humming around a Corolla. And a Corolla actually is referring to not a Toyota Corolla or anything like that, but it's referring to this arrangement of petals around a lotus flower. So we see that kind of term, not Corolla itself, but we see whorl, WHORL. And these terms refer to nothing but the arrangement of petals around the center of a flower. And we can see that in our imagery everywhere, in devotional literature. And we even see that I think the ISKCON logo has something like that. And we see that's the uh, form of Goloka Vrindavan. And so this kind of imagery crops up everywhere. So he relates that as well to the bumblebees humming around the center of a flower. So yeah, moving on, we see Krishna's lotus face not only is decorated by or encircled by this hair, but it's also decorated by the kisses of lips as red as the bimba fruit. Bimba is a certain type of fruit I think we only see in India or maybe other parts of the world, but I haven't seen in America. If anyone's seen it, please let me know. But it's a very red fruit, and it's related generally in the Eastern countries, at least in India, to be resembling the lips of a woman like the gopis. And this indicates that his Krishna's face is being kissed. Manya, go ahead and click. Yeah, it's being kissed again and again, not just once, but again and again by we see translations say Mother Yashoda, but this can Sanatan Goswami writes that this can refer to either Mother Yashoda or Sri Radharani, who's also, as we know, is an intimate associate of Sri Krishna. So Raktaishcha gopya mohushchumbitam bimba raktadaram. So this is all referring to this nature of Krishna's face, which is uh, decorated by these kisses, lips from the lips of the gopis, as red as the bimba fruit. And they're kissing him again and again and again. And so the gopis are said to or be blessed with the rare fortune. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to be in that position of getting to kiss him again and again. And that's what is the essence of being able to be a loving devotee of Krishna in such an intimate relationship with him. And to close off that verse, Krishna or Satyavata Rishi writes that as he always does, and we've seen so far in the Damodarashtakam in the previous verses, he reminds the devotees and himself that this blissful pastime is so important and that it can, if it just manifests in our mind even once, then it's better than any other boon. And if he is able to manifest it in our mind at all times, all day, all night, whether you're asleep or awake, then what better boon could you ask for? So Satyavrata Rishi says, may his lotus face enter my mind again and again, just like the gopis are able to kiss Krishna again and again. Me manasyavirastam. So that means may his lotus face enter my mind again and again. Alam laksha laibhai. Therefore, hundreds of thousands of other boons are of no use to me. And he disregards any sort of uh, prospect of material liberation and personal liberation or any other boon. And the only thing he's longing for is this remembrance of being able to, or being able to remember this pastime and this form of Sri Damodar. So that's such the beautiful, or that's the beautiful aspect of not just the Damodarashtakam, but all the divine literatures that we see describing the pastimes, the qualities, the names, the forms of Krishna. And this is the essence of that, which is why Damodar Lila and the Damodar Ashtakam are so special. And now we can have Manya describe the next verse in the commentary. I'll hand it off to her.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Chaitanya Nitanam, for that beautiful explanation. I always fall short to explaining it as well as you, but I'll try my best. All right. We start with verse 6, and most of you maybe know it starts with Namo Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu. So I just want to break it down a little bit. So Namo means I bow down. Deva means Krishna, O Lord. And Damodar is the name of Krishna, which means when Krishna was bound by a rope on his belly. So here, the prayer is to see Krishna directly. And before starting, it's saying all obeisances to you. So Namo Deva Damodar. And then it further describes who Krishna is. So he's Ananta Vishnu. So he's limitless and he's all pervading. So here the plea is very humble. I just want to say that it's not kind of a demand, but it's first honoring Krishna and offering respects, and then going forward. And then he describes Namo Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu. Prasida means I'm pleading in a way. So here in the translation I'm reading, it says, Prasida, be pleased. So it's asking Krishna, be pleased upon me, and by showering your glance of mercy upon me, please, deliver it. And it says, Prasida Prabhu Dukha Jalapti Magnam. So Prasida means please, and Dukha also means sadness, and Jala means almost like a web in Sanskrit. So Dukkha Jala means network of material misery. So it's praying that Krishna, I'm drowning in the perpetual ocean of births and deaths. I'm afflicted by the pangs of separation from your vision, and I feel utterly miserable. And I was just thinking how easy it is to say this on paper, but these emotions are so hard to mean in real life. That the realization that we are actually suffering and we are in an ocean of miseries, just that realization is not uh, seen by many people. So this prayer is really important. I felt that asking Krishna, like, Krishna, you're my only shelter, and I am feeling separation from your vision, and I want to see you. And then he next defines that request. Please look at me with mercy again and again, or shower upon me the nectar of your merciful glance and revive me. So kripa means mercy, drishti means look at me, rishyati dinam batanu. Then grihanesha mam agnyam edhyakshi drishya. And then he finally clearly asserts his desire. Please appear before me. And the Atidina means very fallen. So again, it's in a very humble mood that Krishna, I'm very fallen, but please appear before me. And Anugrana, they're kind of breaking this two words. And yeah, Anugrana means please accept. And Isha is another name for Krishna. It's kind of the word here, Grihanesha, but it breaks it down to Isha, which is another name for Krishna. And Agnya means ignorant, right here. Agnyam edyakshidirsha. So it's a desire that Krishna, I'm fallen, maybe I'm ignorant, but please look at me with mercy again and again and shower upon me the nectar of your merciful glance, and please appear before me. So I felt that this was a nice verse after stating that Krishna, I don't want liberation, I don't even want Vaikuntha, I don't even want um anything that can be attained. But I just want to see your form as Bal Gopal. That was one of the verses before. And I felt like this was kind of restating that, but more strongly. Um, yeah, that's all that we had to share with the commentary. I can share the link towards the end if you all would like to take a better look at the commentary from Sanatan Goswami. It's really beautiful, and yeah, it definitely helps you break Damodar Leela in a nice way. All right, now we're gonna move on to the best part, which I think is of each, which is the game. And we're gonna play this together. It's a word search game. So I was thinking it'd be nice. I'll share my screen and I'll have you all annotate my screen. So as you find the verses, not the verses, the words, we can all be on the same page because it'll be really hard to be like, where's the word? Where's the word? So is everyone first able to see my screen and find the annotate tool? Yeah? Okay. Your time starts now. Wow, you guys are so fast. Yeah, you can cross it when you're done. Okay, I think Braj, Anapini, and Mayuri found 3 words already. Two people found mortar. Nice. We've got like one more to go. Okay. Nice. I don't think we can ever beat Anupani in a game. All right. Thank you everyone for playing. Now I feel like we should have added more words. You guys did this way too fast than I thought. Yeah, that was fun. All right. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Right. Okay, that was a lot. So I'm gonna give some time for us to reflect or any reflections anybody has, either from the commentary we read or anything in life that you've been feeling you want to share with the group. Yeah, Anupani.
I had a reflection based on, I think it was the verse Chaitanya did, the fifth one. And I think it was about how seeing Krishna's like face makes you forget about all miseries. It's just like so attractive and sweet. And I've recently found myself kind of resonating in a different way. Like a lot of us know Priya Kishori, she just had a baby, Sharanagati, and she's like really young and extremely cute. And whenever I see her, like I forget about like all my problems because she's just so like joyful and sweet in her own like happy world. And I was thinking how attractive and how intensified this feeling must be when you see like Krishna, like God himself, as a cute baby. So that came to mind.
Yeah, that's so sweet. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else want to share something? Arv, are you in a car? That was
Hare Krishna. Yeah, I'm in the car right now.
okay, we'll call on you later. Yeah, Bredress.
I was really appreciating the commentary, and especially the slides. It was really pretty. And I liked how like what a deep dive it was. It went into every single line and word almost, and was unpacking it so much more. Because rarely we really study the meaning of Damodar Ashtakam. That was really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a similar reflection. And when I looked into it and then I sang Damodar Shikam the next day, it had such a huge, it was a huge difference because even if I didn't know all of it, I would recognize like one random word and I'd be like, Bimba, like I know what Bimba means. So yeah, it's a fun task. Sia, how are you doing in Washington?
Good. Um, yeah, it's been good. I think a reflection that I was trying to come up with right now was like I never like after today's class, I never felt that so much like eagerness and desperation from Moody as like what I saw today because almost every single line, sorry, I'm have a cold right now, but almost every single line was something about, how you really wanted to see the Krishna's face. And it like reminded me of that one like scene from Avatar Narsimhadev where Prahlad was like really desperate to see Krishna's face. So those two like things connected together. Sorry.
You're good. I hope you feel better. You're cold. Yeah, that's a sweet realization. I wish I could. I haven't still watched the movie, which is crazy, but if I do, I will get back to you on that realization. Yeah, anything?
Similar to what you said, I'm just imagining if I knew the meanings of like all these bhajans and then sang them, like the effect is so different. And then I was also wondering if like is the benefit different if you know the meaning? And I was just like pondering that. And maybe it is because you're more sincere, but I don't know. Food for thought if anyone has any thoughts on that.
I have heard that the consciousness with which you do an activity matters. So even like taking prasadam, when you're cooking, it's like the person's consciousness goes in. So I would imagine it would be similar to other activities like cooking. Um, Personally, it really helps me go deeper when I know the meaning. Yeah. I wonder if we can find a verse that says something like that. Bredress, do you know any?
No, I don't know any verse in regard to that, but
Sorry to
uh,
call on you. It was just
yeah,
fun.
I think just if there's more intention with the prayer, it's always better because then like it means more. Krishna's always he always talks about love and devotion, so whatever increases that for us is more helpful. But also something interesting that pops up in the Chaitanya Charitamrita is that if one is like faithless in a sense, they don't really know what they're doing, but they just do it sincerely, that has the exact same benefit as someone who's doing it with full faith. And so there's no harm in also not really fully understanding the meaning and doing it. So it goes both ways.
That's really interesting. Anybody else want to share something? But how are you doing? Do you want to share? Nice to see you after a while on
Nice
WeChat.
to see you too, Monia. Sorry, I just forgot to join the youth jams online. It's just, there's like a lot of stuff that is happening in high school. So, the Kartik month's been going great for me in Naperville. It's been good. I just like love doing the Diya. It's like a special connection between me and Krishna. It's just like there's some type of connection between me and Krishna. And each of the verses, they're like each one has a special pastime. And then when you come to the last one, it's really special because like there's like I might be wrong, but you can correct me. There's like I think there's like a bond between Lord Krishna and Srimati Radharani. There's like a bond, I feel like.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
thank you. I love the last verse.
Arav, where are you going?
Hare Krishna. I'm going to a devotee's house right now. Some of my god siblings live there. I think Akshajan Abba's house there.
Oh, cool. Nice.
That's so fun. Is it a home program? What are you guys doing?
We just went out on book distribution, so we're just coming back.
Wow, fired up in Atlanta.
Yes.
Okay, since we
Hare
were
Krishna.
Were you wearing costumes for Halloween weekend on book distribution?
No, we didn't do that for book distribution.
Did you do it in general?
Sorry, I didn't hear. There was some lag, I think.
Did you wear a costume in general?
No, I didn't wear one.
Oh no, you'd make like a great Balaram.
Yes.
Fine. Do you want to share a reflection now that we've already called up?
Yeah, yeah. So what I see was Satyavrata Rishi was very emotional in explaining how he wants to see Krishna in Gopal Balam form. He wants to see being tied up by Mother Yashoda in that exact form. And you could see that he really thinks that this world is a place of dukkha and how Golok Vrindavana is our real savior, sometimes safe space. Sometimes when we see in this world, we think, "Oh, I think this is a good place. This we can really find a place to live here." That's how Maya comes and traps us. But Satyavrata Rishi is beyond that. He's a pure Vaishnava, and he understands the truth. So that's was just what I was seeing.
Wow, that's a really deep realization. Thank you. Right. Thank you everyone for sharing. This was wonderful. Yes, Bredress. Last one.
All right, I wasn't here for the last few weeks. I was wondering if you could give us some history on Satyavrata, like who is he?
That's interesting. Yes, we can do that. Does anybody know that wants to share? Oh, Anapani.
I think he's a Manu. Like, I think he's the same as the son of the sun god. Or is that is that like King Satyavrata? I don't know if that's different than the Muni. But I know like, Satyavrata is the same as one of the other Manus.
I've also heard the sun god one that you're talking about, but let me find a reference. Yeah, it says it says he's a Manu who would see that the Lord in the fish incarnation. Okay, etc.
I think that might be the king though. But I'm seeing on ISKCON Desire Tree, this was in a conversation with Narad Muni and Shaunaka Rishi. Oh wait, I found something kind of interesting. Wait, let me send this link in the chat. I
Okay.
think it is different. I found something on Ramapad Swami's like ask page,
Nice.
and it says that Ramapad Swami said he's always understood the two Satyavrtas to be different, but he has no evidence in that. But like he's not sure, but he said there are lots of Satyavrtas. So
Oh.
we have no idea, kind of, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of references, but yeah, he says I have no evidence for that, just as I have no evidence that they're the same. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of mysterious. I don't know.
It's very poetic.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it just says it's found in the Padma Purana being spoken by Sri Satyavrata Muni during a conversation with Sri Narada, Shaunaka, and other sages. Interesting. That was a question we should have all asked. Thank you, Bradras. I can't believe I never asked that question. I just thought, oh, it's like a Muni. But maybe if we find some more information, we'll share in the next Youth Jam. Any closing thoughts? All right, okay. Thank you everyone for joining, and we hope that you have the best Ekadashi and last 5 days of Kartik. And we'll see you in Youth Jam next week. Haribol.
All right,
Hare
well, thank
Krishna.
you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.